And hello everyone. Let's start trying to complete Time Stalkers, I guess. This is a 1999 game, as you can see, for the Sega Dreamcast, which hopefully everyone remembers. And well, I hope the music is not loud to start, but it's a kind of RPG. So let's start a new game, I guess. I decided to play this because it's a game I played a ton as a kid for no apparent reason. I guess I like repeating the same actions over and over, but let's watch the intro. You'll see some artifacts because I'm emulating this since I have no way to record my Dreamcast, but be assured that I have the original game on an original Sega Dreamcast. On the top left corner of the video, hopefully you'll see a small thing that at the moment says Time Stalkers. That's a VMU capture. It doesn't show much, usually only the character you're playing as. There are some VMU games that I never managed to get working on the original Dreamcast either, probably because my VMU was always out of batteries. But oh well. That's not the main focus of the game, so it's okay. I can't remember what it did, probably evolve your monsters. I'll mention that more further, actually, in a bit. First, let's see, this is our main character, Sword, and he'll talk a bit. Damn, there's so many mosquitoes. There are so many mosquitoes. Also, I should have come here. If you're wondering, like me, when I was a kid I thought those things were his hands spraying or something, but it's gloves. And once again, sorry about the visual artifacts. But as you can see, they had tier technology back then. What a pain. See, those are his gloves, not his hands. He's not praying, don't worry. You're not the only one whose family was killed. You're not the only poor soul alive in this world. The entire world is cursed. I guess including me. I guess he's having some kind of flashbacks. We'll never see that character again. Even so. It makes me sick. No, the combat is not like this. It's kind of misleading. It's a turn-based RPG. Kinda like the old Final Fantasies, I guess. Or the old JRPGs. But now I'll go after that robot. Damn you, who do you think you're messing with? It's a kind of a long intro. I'll probably put an annotation so you can skip to gameplay. Oh, you like playing hide and seek too, huh? Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. Oh no! And it's day now. And as you can see, by the VMU we're playing as the character Sword. And now we start the more classical dialogue. What the heck? There will be lots of reading. What happened? Wait a minute, what happened to that book? Where'd the book go? It's gone. I got a bad feeling about this. Man, it's all because I listened to that girl. Oh well, no use thinking about it too much. Hey, look, we can control our character. At the moment, can't do much. So, Time Stalkers, as I told you, is a turn-based RPG, and we have our menu here. You can take items, the black lines I'll explain further. We have spells, skills, status. Hopefully we won't have to look too much at this. And this is why it's called the Let's Try to Complete, because, well, the monster list, it's a bit huge, and I have no idea how to capture all the monsters. And the items list, of course, we won't bother completing. Hold on a minute. Yeah, the item list is kinda huge. And the allies is the Pokemon-like mechanic that this game has, that I'll also explain further. So let's get out of here, shall we? I'll never see T-Zone again, by the way. Yes, come on, Sword. The beginning of the game is kinda slow, I'm sorry. From over there, didn't I? Yes, you did. What the heck is going on? This is so odd. Who's messing with me? What are those vibes I'm getting? Could it be hostility? Oh no. It doesn't matter. Whatever happens, happens. Okay. Can we please go? Yes, I am prepared. There's nothing to be prepared. Okay, so I guess this is our first dungeon, which is a tutorial, so the game will do all the explaining for me. So you have the overworld and the dungeon, and right now we're at the dungeon now, and you just found a sword. That's nice. So you find items, monsters, and the orange zones that you can see right there at the right. If you go to there and press X on the Dreamcast button, the leftmost button, you explore them. But exploring zones means you can find items, and it means your hunger meter is depleted. The purple thing on the top left, besides the character portrait. For many years I didn't know that was a stomach thing, and I was like, oh, why am I hungry? So yes, if you start to get hungry, you start losing HP like 5 seconds. Yeah, something like that. You have HP, MP, and Vitality. Vitality is for attacks, MP is for spells, obviously, and HP is, well, your HP. So details. If you choose the equip, you can see it compares to your current equipped weapon. Mastery is the skills you need, the stats you need, so you can make full use of the weapon. And I just equipped it by accident, but as you can see, it had a better attack power, but less penetration power. Penetration power, I believe, is like piercing armor and whatnot. My controller is acting up. Okay. These are signboards that only appear on this dungeon. It's tutorial. As you can see, dungeons are randomly generated, which is kinda fine. Fun, I mean. Sorry. Yes. So the dungeons have various floors. Also, you can change map, hide it, and you can rotate the camera. But I believe you could zoom in, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, there we go. The D-pad down. Sorry. Anyways, I prefer this camera angle. I always played with it. So all the dungeons have various floors. Of course, the further you are in the game, the harder the dungeons will be, and the more floors they will have. And when you choose to go down a floor, you get to this level up screen, where at the moment we have no skill points, bonus points I mean, but if we had, we could level up strength, dexterity, constitution, blah 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 blah, and those stats obviously improve our character stats and help us master items, therefore the item list being here. And as you can see at yellow, the stats we need to master it. Again, mastering an item means you can use it properly and not get a stats down. Think like having enough of a strength stat in Dark Souls to wield a weapon. Allies we at the moment have none. Skills, we can manage the skills we have a limit we can take for the dungeon, but hopefully that won't be a problem and always be able to take them all. Anyways, we're at the second floor. Always exploring. Also, there can be traps. You level up with each 100 experience points attained. You gain experience points by fighting. And those beeps you can hear, those are monsters somewhere in the dungeon. We do not care about that for now. Yes, so... Oh, we found some boots. Nice. I don't know if that's scripted or not, but details. Let's go to details first. I actually know. Down there you can see, can use movement command. So with boots equipped, we can actually use the move command when on a fight, which hopefully we won't be needing. But oh well. Also it gives us more evade percentage and mage evasion, which is awesome. Also, here's our first monster. As you can see, he seems a bit happy. What does that mean? Oops. The experience you get depends on the character level and the number of people in your party. Yes, as all RPGs. So when you click on Goblin, you can, if you have various monsters, you can select which monster to fight or which item to pick up. Aggression, as you can see, is very low, which means you won't attack us. Normally you don't even need to check the menu, because they'll have notes above their head or they'll be angry or something. When their aggression is to the max, they'll follow you and try to kill you basically. So let's fight this goblin. And here we are in the turn-based combat that everyone loves. You can use items for healing, you can defend, block, dodge, run away. We'll probably be able to run away, but we don't want that. Block negates some damage, dodge is a percentage to negate all damage, but you take full damage if you get hit. Spells use MP, let's not use that. When we have two attacks that use vitality levels, not levels, percentage. So, weak slash, as you can see down there, you can see the enemy we're trying to hit, the vitality, the MP, HP, and the percentage we get to hit it, which is attack hit rate and the predicted the predicted damage will do. So this is basically a guaranteed attack. We can also select empty squares, and then you may be wondering why the hell would you do that? Well, because apparently we can't move, but enemies also can move, and you'll never know when they'll move. So imagine I choose to attack this square where the goblin is, but he goes like, I'll move here. Well, you will still attack this square and not follow the enemy, so you will miss because you'll be here and you'll do attack here. However, with spells, as you can see, you can select empty squares, because if you choose to attack, you don't choose to attack the square but the enemy. So if you choose, let's attack the goblin, and he decided to move, decide to move here, the spell will follow and attack him there. So spells are a guaranteed hit most of the time. They can still dodge it, but let's just attack him. Enough talking. And he's dead. And here we go to the after battle screen with tons of things I don't know what it means, but we got 50 experience points, so we're halfway to leveling up. And we got a heal fruit, which thankfully we don't need. However, we could use it not only to heal, but to restore our hunger meter, which is at half. Boots -2 we can take, but oh no, we can't. Our inventory is full. We could always sell it later. But let's stop searching the floor. We have nothing to level up. Next floor, next floor. Also, we probably should stop exploring because we're almost starving, and that's no good. Use the... yes, I forgot to mention. There are traps on the dungeons. We found one and we managed to avoid it. If you fall on a trap, it has various effects. Yes, I already mentioned all this. But if you pass through an area, you don't need to worry about traps there anymore. Of course. However, we can have a skill that makes the traps stay active even if we found them, and the monsters can step on them, which is awesome. But that's more late game. So I guess that's all the tutorial. Goddammit, I don't want to use the heal fruit because we'll be obviously fighting a boss by the end of the tutorial and things can go poorly. Hopefully they won't, but if we find out we need it, okay, I know what, let's use the heal fruit. Yes, nothing happened, but our hunger meter was restored, so we're more at ease now. Don't have to worry about starving. Oh, as you can see, this goblin's aggression is more than halfway full, and he's trying to attack you, and he attacked us first. Okay, but it's no problem, we can kill him in one hit. Bam, we got a critical too, and we leveled up. So leveling up obviously increases our HP, MP, vitality, and other stats, and it restores them a bit. Bosses await, yes, of course. That's kinda obvious, light vest. Oh, also, with leveling up, our inventory gets bigger. So, we can equip and pick up more things, because equipping them also takes inventory space. This armor is kinda good, lowers our evasion a bit, but it's okay. Also, as you can see on the right here, the boots have a sad face. Why is that? Because we can't master it because we don't have enough dexterity. Hopefully when we finish this floor we'll level up dexterity and have more stats on our boots. Oh yes. Let's attack this goblin. Go kill him. Easy peasy. Also, after some battles you can find items, obviously. Okay, that's weird. I never got something like that. This is the hand room? No, this is the room. Okay, this is a bug. What the hell? Supposedly there should be a room that restores all our stats. Anyway, I'll explain. As the signboard said, there are some rooms that can restore HP, MP and vitality to the full, can only be used once. It doesn't restore our hunger, unfortunately. Okay, So, let's see. The boots, we can't master it because our dexterity is 4 and we need 5. So now, bam, we mastered it. Usually you don't level up dexterity, but having mastered the boots is a good option. So, usually you can tell it's a boss floor because the floor is very linear. I've been looking for you for quite a while. Our game of tag's over. You're mine now, take this. Okay, here's our boss. Let's use the fire spell on him. It has a 90% chance to it. So, oh, he'll attack us first, and we missed, thankfully. Bam, 26. That's not much. So, this attack will do 9 damage, this attack will do 11. So lose this one. Bam. And the game basically comes down to this. However, the further we go, we'll get some allies, which is a mechanic I'll explain on the next dungeon, and we'll be able to level them up. And the game's going to be more exciting, hopefully, with more characters unlocked too. The boss is almost dead. Let's do the different attack. Bam. And the bosses explode in a spectacular fashion when they die. And we leveled up 3 levels. There's also a cutscene the first time you beat a boss in a dungeon. You can repeat dungeons as many times as you want, except for this one. The first boss won't be there. There will be some variants, and usually you'll have quests for defeating those variants and what's not. Also, quests is something I'll mention later on. Okay, so let's finish the dungeon, shall we? The tutorial in this case. So at the end of each dungeon, as you can see, quest accomplished. Our quest was obviously to clear the dungeon for the first time. We earned a new title, Weakling, capture level 1 skill earned, energy spell earned. So at the end of each dungeon, your character basically levels up permanently. Each time you start the dungeon you start at level 1, but each time you end the dungeon you have the chance to gain new skills, new spells, gain items very rarely. And I think that's it. I have no idea what the title implies, but each time we get a new title we get spell skills and not. So I guess that's what it does. There's a max to the title, so I guess there's a max to the spells and skills we can learn. But there's other ways to learn spells and skills. You heard for a bit overworld music? Ah, not again. What's going on here? It's like a nightmare, but I'm awake. Low sword, very philosophical. This isn't a real exit, but... Top-notch voice acting from me here, hope you enjoy it. And here we are in the overworld. Yay, we did it, everyone. You can interact with almost every character in the overworld, and their dialogue changes along the game. So we'll have tons of story to watch, because every character has its tiny stories. Some are more interesting than others, of course. Where am I? This place doesn't look familiar at all. So this old clock tower got up and moved somewhere else, is that it? Ugh, this dust is going to ruin my nice clothes, and I'm lost. This is so uncool. As you can see, Sword has his priorities set straight. Is that right? Hey, you're our hero!
You passed the first test with flying colors. The strength of wisdom you've displayed shows us you are truly worth. Sword, our savior, our hero, Yoda, I am.
I'm sorry. Huh? Who the hell are you? I'm sorry for my sniffing, but I kinda have a cold. Hopefully it will be better next time we play.
Who am I? Call me master. I live here, like you. Also, I can't get off my Yoda voice.
You live here? Then tell me this. Where am I? Answer me, old man. I'm talking to you.
I'm the old man, huh?
You are an old man, aren't you? Oh, slow down.
Energetic but crass, and somewhat rude. Hero, I mean sword. I want you to call me master, not old man. We can have more pleasant conversations that way, which will benefit you.
What's your point?
You were brought to a known world against your will, and you're confused. But this is too much lore. That's to be expected. This place is totally unfamiliar to you. It will be wise for you to listen to me and get a grasp of the situation.
Start talking then, I'll listen for now. Oh god. Lord dump everyone.
Let me explain.
This is a small world created with mystical powers. Created with mystical powers? Okay, so basically the gist of it, it's there's a total and complete mysteries behind this, but land, buildings and people were summoned here to create this world. Wait a minute, do you expect me to believe your story?
Believe it or not, it is true. And this world is approaching a crisis situation. Someone is trying to interfere with this world. Find the darkness that threatens the world and protect this world. I'm counting on you, Hero Sword.
Hello, welcome back to reality. Even if something you're saying is true, it has nothing to do with me. Don't make me here without consulting me.
I didn't decide, it is your destiny. You proved yourself by getting through the clock tower battle. Sword, you are a true hero, the chosen child of light. You were called here to protect this small world. You aren't listening to anything I say, are you? Now, look over there. It's our house, everyone. And we have a goat butler. Hello, hello. What voice should he have? That voice over there was prepared for you. There is a hero's crest inside, it certifies you as a hero. Get the hero's crest, use its power and set out on your adventures. Ask him for more details. I'll see you then. Do your best, Sword.
Finally. Okay. So, hey, old man, wait a minute. Yes. We're in the overworld. Through the overworld you can access the dungeons. You can walk freely, basically. And you have characters, as I told you. This one here is Nochi, Nikki. Yes, the general story is this thing here. So let's talk to our butler. How do you do, sir? I am your humble servant. Is there something wrong? You're a sheep. No, I am Newton, and I am your humble servant. I see. I'll explain more inside. Sir, this is your home, please come inside. So, this is my house. I don't know about this place. Well, at least it's got a roof. I was awaiting your arrival, master. Right this way. Allow me to introduce myself once again. I am Newton, your servant, and I'll be looking after you. Please don't hesitate to let me know if you have any needs whatsoever. Master, I have one more thing to tell you. Please take the hero's crest over there. What's this? I guess this is what the old man was talking about. Yay! If you have that in your possession, you'll be able to enter areas normally blocked by a force field. When you are tired, please come back. You can usually find me on the second floor. So if you need anything, just ask. Well then, have a nice day. Okay, so that's it for our first episode. We'll explore the overworld and the first dungeon on the next one. Also, as you can see, this house sucks. You can also go first person, by the way, in the overworld. But we will be able to upgrade our house, believe it or not. So, why good day? Yes. Let's save the game, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!